when you've been in a situation where you feel like you've been done wrong, or you just feel there's something about it that's just left not in the way you wanted, you can either wait for that external closure, that need to somebody outside you to validate whatever the experience was for you, whatever was left hanging, whatever the void was that you feel inside you. You can, or you can seek revenge, right? You can act out of spite. You can truly allow the poison to become insidious within your own system, okay? Or there's a third option, and that third option is you can completely turn that around and invest in yourself. You can really begin to find your divine alignment by clearing through all of that, the void you feel, filling it with so much magic that you are once you discover that, by going through what you've gone through and learning and understanding the reasons for it and deciding, you know what, I'm going to take the lessons with me and watch your soul soar. This message is massively about investing in yourself, whoever this is for. Let's find out who it is for and what the message is, okay? Okay, Ace of Wands, a passionate start, it says. Good. Good. That's where your focus needs to be on. You, not because of spite for anybody else or waiting for someone else to, you know, I think there's something about someone might be holding some kind of resentment, even if they don't want to be, something that can really sit deep in your heart. Especially when you feel like you've been done wrong. And it's something that you're holding on to. Okay, so let's find out what else you need to be aware of, okay? Temperance, that sounds beautiful for this message actually. Temperance, perfecting balance. This is really about being patient with yourself, allowing yourself the time to honor what you are feeling and not stay stuck in the emotion of whatever it is. Something about connecting to nature could be important for you. Okay, so maybe that's what helps you to cleanse and clear through your auric field as well, okay? Definitely finding that internal alchemy right now, because that passionate start, I feel like it's deep within you. That's why you might have this energy, because it's like you have so much, like almost like fire within you, but it's about learning how to channel that correctly. Learning how to, when I say correctly, it's actually in a way that's serving you on such a higher level, instead of you being chained and stuck to this 3D dynamic that you might have experienced or be experiencing. Okay, yeah, Tower. However, it has come out in reverse. So that's interesting. It does say a narrow escape. So whatever you think that went wrong or whatever, little do you realize this was divine orchestration, a narrow escape. There's a reason for things going the way they go. There's something here about maybe you do need to learn more about, focus more on that faith in divine orchestration and your divine alignment, and truly learn the lessons that it's teaching your soul, because you're here for your soul to really elevate, like I mentioned, okay? Licking your wounds, yeah. So even though I don't think you saw it as a narrow escape, you've not seen it as your escape. Maybe you had to go through a lot with whatever this is, which is why it's taking you some time to really alchemize your emotion. But I also feel like you're someone who feels like deeply, which I think is coming from something to do with your childhood as well. I'm hearing specifically the word neglect. Maybe it was emotionally or whatever, but, and it says licking your wounds, so it's kind of like, it's almost as though you have not overcome the emotion of it yet. Like it's still there. Like you have this passion, you want to go, you want this new beginning with the Ace of Wands, but there's still this holding you back. Okay, yeah, it's a test of faith. 9 of Wands. It says a test of faith there. And I did say there's something about learning about faith and holding that faith within your system, right? The Chariot, strength of will. You need to remember that, strength of will, right? Where is your energy being directed truly? I mean, where is your drive coming from right now? Because it's that drive, especially if it's this drive to kind of be so focused on the past. Imagine if you alchemize that energy and say, you know what, actually, let me turn that back around and say, how can I invest that in myself to be a better person? That's the best revenge, if you want revenge anyway, to just zone in on you. It doesn't matter what they're doing or whoever, what's happening. You know why? Because you are becoming a better person. You're finding your heart and you're staying in that space. You're driving from that space. You know what I mean? This is about the strength of your soul, I feel like. You're being tested to see whether you even have faith in yourself, your strength of character. Okay, so Ace of Wands. Let's find out more about this Ace of Wands. there is a balancing act here that's needed, and it's to do with your inner alchemy right now, your inner light and dark. So I always say, you know, shadow and light, they'll go hand in hand. There's not just one or the other. They massively work together. So it's about really recognizing that, right? Wheel of Fortune, decisive moment. It's up to you now. And potent energies are taking place in the cosmos. They're going to help you with this, okay? 10 of Cups, but it's in reverse. Ace of Cups, that is upright, so that's good. So I do think there's something about feeling massively disconnected from maybe whatever happened, it pulled you away from what you wanted, this happily ever after. It's like some massive block got in the way, an obstacle, and you weren't expecting it, right? But there's this beautiful energy of actually it's teaching you how much more than you had knew before, how much love is in your heart, how much you truly from the heart desire this passion you start towards whatever it is that you wanted before but ended up being disconnected from more than I think anyone in that picture realized. 6 of Wands. Oh, and the Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so this is really good. I think you're going to be learning how to alchemize that passion, and it's going to fuel your light. It's going to fuel your light within you. 6 of Wands, and that's come out with the Temperance. So this patience that you're allowing yourself. Also Sagittarius season could be important. Water and fire as well. The patience is really going to help you to recognize the true value of achievement, success, but also validation. It's not about external validation and waiting for external approval or closure or whatever it is. It's actually about how you're bringing that to yourself. I think that perhaps you don't realize the power you have to truly magnetize that to you, right? So yes, there was that disconnect that you truly wanted from that true emotional fulfillment, right, within your heart space. But you know what it did? It just poured into your heart even more because it helped you to realize how much actually your heart is so full of love. It's giving you a new drive to move forward. That congratulations on that card is beautiful. There's going to be success and victory here because you're allowing yourself to alchemize potently. Justice, fairness, and balance. There's divine justice taking place right now. So much balance in this reading. It's wow, truly. So you might think that you were hard done by. However, the way you're handling it, you're going to be handling it, is really, it's going to show you where it is worth placing your faith and value. Okay. Oh, she did come out. Oh, beautiful. The Queen of Wands. Now I'm getting 2 messages here. This might be, oh, that kind of just slipped. So it was like this, but that slipped as I picked it up. So that's the Empress, and then you got the Ace of Coins. So a new beginning with the Empress. That's the Divine Feminine. Interesting. So what you might not realize. Okay, so I'm getting 2 messages. Queen of Wands. I'm getting one message is that this is someone who you actually had that narrow escape with. Okay, this energy. Who you might have seen as way more like shining much more brightly than what the truth was. So clearly there was some kind of a veil of illusion that was masking the truth of the situation with whoever this is. Maybe it was something to do with honestly very surface level stuff. Okay, maybe that's sexual attraction, maybe just something like that. Okay, maybe something that they had that you really desired. Maybe they had some kind of status or connection. I don't know, there's something about that. That's what you actually escaped from. It wasn't what you thought it was. So don't, yeah, there's more beneath the surface that you were giving it more value, okay, than you needed to. There's another message of this Queen of Wands is this is you stepping into your power as a result of avoiding that tower energy. Divine, my gosh, Divine Feminine in the bottom of the deck. So the 7 of Swords is just shown there as well. So yeah, not what it seems. Yeah, don't be fooled right now. When I say divine orchestration and you can't see everything, that's what it is. So you're probably still holding on to something. It's time to release that, because this Divine Feminine, she's coming through. And I think that actually, had you have held on to what you were trying so hard to hold on to and was, it was hurting you, understandably, clearly hurt you deeply, but she wouldn't have been able to come through, and you wouldn't have been able to see her and acknowledge her and say, you know what, yes, this is my divine alignment. I'm just going to get another one for the Tower and the Queen of Wands, just to confirm, because I feel like those are 2 different messages that are coming through. They might be related somehow. Red flowers might be very significant here. Some kind of red flower. Ah, okay. This has massively been divine intervention, whatever's happened here. This is judgment. It's kind of like this happened against your will, if you will. You didn't surrender to it, and something had to be taken away, or something that might have felt like destruction at the time, an upheaval that was unexpected. However, it was massively in your favor. Massively. Maybe you were going to set out to like really put your light out there, and there's been blocks or detours or something. There's a reason, okay? Seven of Wands. Let's see about the Seven of Wands. I don't think that you would have had the success and victory that you're going to have moving forwards if that had gone the way it had. Again, there was something that you couldn't see beneath the surface. You were being protected, okay? So we've got the Two of Wands here. It's kind of come out both ways. So let's see. We've got charting a course and lacking a strategy. Okay. So this is that decisive moment as well, I feel like, because this has come out with that Seven of Wands. So it's up to you now. You want to be staying licking your wounds and just so focused on the past that you're not seeing progress forward or even planning how to move forward, right? And then taking the actions that you're required to chart this course. Or you say, actually, this is my moment and it's time to open that door and step into it. Queen of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. She knows what's up. She knows her worth. She's abundant in energy as well. I want to make that clear. Very nurturing energy. Seven of Wands and Two of Wands. Let's get another one to clarify. Seven of Wands. Lots of wands here. Lots of fire. I did mention water as well before. So Four of Coins, material attachment. Lovers at the bottom of the deck, union. Okay, so this is where I think this is more about letting go, to be honest. This is more about releasing and letting go. There's something about forgiveness, that resentment that was coming through. There's something about that. And I think this is going to be a very you job. It's not about anyone else coming into the picture or back or anything like that. It's very much about you going inwards, finding your inner union. The Lovers, if you really want to move towards this passionate start, you're going to have to clear this out your system. Forgiveness. And it's not even about forgiving anyone else. It's about forgiving for yourself. For yourself, okay. Knight of Wands was there. I'm not going to take it. It's another one here. Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is like, there's something about thinking before you act that's really important. It's been an important lesson for you, whatever that is. Okay, yeah. Lots of cleansing. Ace of Coins in reverse, okay. Something feels, this is where your test of faith is. It feels like it's risky to move where you want to move. It's risky for some reason. Let's get another one. But I think that this again is to do with how you're handling the situation, how you're seeing yourself. I don't think you're understanding the mastery you've been gaining within you, because there's still, maybe you have been gaining a lot more than, but there's just maybe some kind of cord or attachment that's still there. Let's just see. Yeah, Seven of Cups, you've got so much moving forward. I think maybe you've got a lot of different choices to make currently as well, which is where that test of faith is coming through. And whatever choice you want to move towards feels risky. It's out of your comfort zone. It's out of your comfort zone, but you need to ask yourself, what is your subconscious mind telling you constantly? How is it your subconscious mind that's controlling your external output versus how are you now intellectualizing that, not just from your mind, but from your heart? I'm talking emotional intelligence here, right? Logic and emotion, people, think that it's like black and white, but actually you can merge that beautifully and gain that emotional intelligence. Work with them together, right? So that's important. Faith again, faith. Okay, let's see this Chariot. Faith is really important. Okay, we've got strength, but it came out in reverse, so lacking confidence. So you're not seeing your strength of will. Maybe you are quite driven, but for some reason there's just this lack of confidence. I think it's because what you want to move towards, that feels like a risky endeavor, but it is your passionate start. I think maybe you've had something about lack of self-worth as well, or something. 10 of Coins at the bottom of the deck, though, that's very abundant, very grounded, healthy, happy, vitality I'm getting from that. Came out. The Lovers. So right about now, you feel like you need to increase your confidence in order to actually ground this down into like your 3D reality. There's a lot of power. There are a lot of power and passion here, clearly. And this desire to take this action is 100% there, but you know that you're going to have to work on it, whatever this is. Okay, let's just get some more just to confirm. I think you're going to have to really put the work in, and that's beginning with yourself, which is why there's this need to clear and heal through whatever it is that you've been through, especially with some kind of karmic energies, okay? You know, it's important to remember that investing wisely your energy, your attention, okay, the choices that you're making, and sometimes it's the smallest choices that have the biggest impact, and it might not seem like it because it feels like it's taking ages, right? But then that's how the roots truly flourish, truly can ground in and grow. So this is where you need to doing it together. You're becoming someone who is learning how to trust, and from the heart, which is from allowing you to recognize the right people for you. Okay, again, the divine feminine at the bottom of the deck. Wow. Yeah, there's been, in the past, this has not been the case. I think that you were acting from a place where it was very inner child wounded, honestly. And I think it's because you were reflecting so much on everything that had gone wrong and wasn't your way. You just wanted it a certain way, but it just wasn't going that way, and it was taking ages. And you know, you're not someone who conforms or traditionally follows rules, so it's kind of like really learning how to trust your path specifically, okay? And that's not easy, especially if you're on the divine journey. It's very different to what, you know, it's not take these too many, but that was a 3 of coins again, all right? Very different to what you're conditioned culturally, societally, you know. Okay, the moon, yeah, your subconscious mind, the moon. This is definitely some kind of internal shadow work right now that's going on, that's taking place. But it's about finding that clarity in the subconscious mind. And you know, when you're in dream state, that's basically like traveling in between worlds. So pay attention to your dreams as well, because that's going to be important for you. Especially with the clearing through the subconscious. Keep a dream journal or something. Write it down as soon as you wake up what dreams you've had. King of Wands, and it's in reverse, unpredictable. So that's not a leader you can trust, you see. That's a leader who might lead you astray, kind of energy. So I think maybe this is new perspective, though. Maybe either this is how you're viewing someone else, or this is you. You've got the King and Queen of Wands on the table. Okay, let's just find out one more for this King of Wands to clarify. The Fool. Okay, yeah, this is what's coming through. This is a King of Wands who has in the past rushed in, unpredictable, impulsive, you know, thinking they're spontaneous, but actually they've just been driven by their wounds. Okay, they weren't in confident energy, and the King of Wands is confident, but they weren't. Okay, it was an ego mask, and this is where that subconscious mind is now being understood. Someone's learning how to balance, so they can be way more stable. They're gaining so much more awareness and clarity with what's happening internally, so they're not creating these situations where there's just ends up being rifts and, you know, disruption and arguments, you know, and just misalignments that's just fed, okay? This Fool is interesting. So again, is that wanting to take that new beginning, but I feel like someone's really unsure about how and when to. But I think this really comes down to they'll be divinely guided to do so, right? But they need to ask themselves the questions, well, what's stopping you? What's the reason that you're not going? Because there must be a reason. Then unravel that. So if maybe you feel like you're not confident enough, what is that? If you feel like you're not stable enough, what's driving that? Do you know what I mean? If you feel like whatever the story is for you, there's definitely something about feeling so disconnected from this happiness, but this is where your joy lays, okay? You have so much love in your heart space, whoever this is. It's time to kind of, I think there's, with this divine justice that's coming through, it's kind of going to help you to step up and release. Truly, there's so much release that's needed to take place here, because the only thing that's stopping you from moving forwards right now is feeling like whatever you're moving towards is a risk, because everything you've been through has created this story in your mind that you keep replaying, and it's making you anxious about the future, right? Because you're thinking that it's going to relay the past again, or maybe you're going to feel the same, but who have you become at the same time? You've become stronger. Recognize that strength within you. It's time to. You are gaining inner union. There's a massively a message here where someone will need to become way more clear on the choices that they're making, the decisions. Where is it from your heart space versus where is it from a place of ego? Ego that is fueled by past wounds, right? Or this overflowing love that you have within you. Again, it's a card about collaboration, working together. Number 9, equality, collaboration, being heard, unity. Again, This is really about that divine feminine energy that was coming through before. Valued input. They just say discussion, so maybe there's a conversation that's needed, okay? But yeah, I think someone's not seeing themselves clearly at the minute, and I think it's because of past decisions that have happened, or even just choices that were against their own will, right? But again, divine intervention has been huge here, okay? The anchor 9 again, number 35. Stable, number 35 might be some kind of age where something happened, something about that. Stable, enduring, solid. Yeah, this is way more long lasting. There's willpower here, there's fortitude, you know, someone's persevering, security there. That comes with working together. When you find your alignment, you're doing so from a place where you, again, it's that truth, your transparency, your heart space that's taking the lead, right? So there's way more grounding moving forwards once you begin to recognize yourself. Number 21, you might have felt really alone for a long time. Yeah, there's been a period of the separation here as well. Again, I think that's something to do with that divine intervention that keeps wanting to come through. Narrow escape, because there's clearly something, like I said, there was something that just wasn't what it seemed, okay? Someone's felt way more like self-protective when they're by themselves. You know, that energy of nothing can hurt me if I'm by myself. You know, I'm seeing, is it Scarface? When he's in that like bathtub or something? That's come through for a reason. Solo, isolation, island. Foreign affairs, someone could be away, or they might have something about international communications or something that's coming through. Okay. Okay. And that's giving me that 6 of Wands. Remember I said learning where your success is the true success, versus where it's just ego-driven validation. Something about that's important. Someone's learning the difference. Number 3, tracks. Again, someone could be traveling truly. Forward movements, going the distance, a direct route. You're on track. You are on track, okay? You're finding your steadiness right now. That's what it is. And this is just coming from you understanding how to release what's gone, especially the disconnect, okay? And to act in a way where you are thinking first, right? But not in a way where you're overthinking and over-analyzing, over-processing. Remember how I mentioned it's that balance, that emotional wisdom, the balance of the head and heart, right? Faithful. Someone's very faithful. Dogs could be important to somebody, okay? Number 18 and number 10, so October could be important. Yeah, I feel like this is something about someone who's very faithful, actually. But I think that they need to have the right conversations with the right people to ensure that this is a two-way thing. Yeah, loyalty is big here, really important to this energy. Maybe somebody wants to, when they move forward, because of what's happened in the past, and they're feeling so like they've isolated themselves, almost been very like not standoffish, you know, especially when it comes to connection. Maybe they want to start things from a foundation where it's friendship, so then they can, you know, feel more, gain that trust basically, first and foremost. Something here that's really important about ensuring you're focusing on your path forwards, not anybody else's, but at the same time learning who is on your path and how to collaborate with them, because they're going to have their path too. They're going to have their journey. They're going to have their needs and wants. It's about honoring that. You know, you want to do that for each other. If you really love each other and care about each other, you know. Number 19, the clock. So this is perfect timing. It's all happening in perfect timing, okay? Wherever you're moving, it's longevity, it's long lasting, right? Remember that 10 of coins was coming up beneath, under the jack as well. Standing the test of time. Again, those tests of faith. This isn't the first time you've had this test of faith, okay? There's an unstoppable energy within you. It's just about learning again how to harness that, so that it's kind of really, it's not just like this unpredictable energy, but actually it's something that is fueled in a place where there's fulfillment. You know, you're saying yes, you know, it doesn't just make you feel lacking and disconnected or whatever. Past, present, future, there's going to be something, something that's going to align your past, present and future, almost like connecting the links together is what I'm seeing, okay? And I think that's again because you're delving into that psyche and you're understanding how the past has influenced your decision making moving forwards. Self-interest, how you've kind of, I don't know if you realize this, but you've been putting yourself first to a point where you probably haven't actually thought about how another person's feeling, okay? Because there's this self-interest, you know. Again, that deceit, something is not what it seems, okay? Something's off. But I think that again, this is because you've been telling yourself those stories, and it maybe it's to do with the betrayal wounds of the past, but where you were left licking your wounds, and so you're just trying to put yourself first. You're trying to protect yourself, me first energy. But that's not what you do in connection, especially the Lovers card that's come out there, that union. If you're lacking confidence, maybe that's what you do, which is what's currently taking place. But you're learning how not to. 14 and 9, it's 14th of September, could be important. Yeah. Yeah, number 27, beautiful. Ring of Keys, change of heart. There are, again, many opportunities. Something about you right now. You have a lot. Maybe there's just a lot. I just think you have a lot of opportunities. You've got decisions to make, okay? You've got, maybe you even have a lot of temptations around you. You're learning how to harness that. I think that might be a lot of where the divine intervention is taking place as well. The narrow escape, those temptations. Maybe you feel free when you're able to make these decisions, but true freedom comes from that soul soaring, from your heart saying yes, not from making decisions that are just like, yes, those are risky decisions, but you think that, oh, but I can get away with it and this is my freedom. Whereas all along it's just conditioned by society to make you feel like, oh, you're doing what you want, you get what you want, and it's just pulling you away from your own heart. It's just keeping you stuck in that lust or that greed or whatever it is, control of the situation. You've got multiple choices, new beginnings. You're going through a transition right now, okay? Again, there's something about control that's really important here. Yes, you need to recognize your strength of will, so you can control that chariot as you're moving forwards and find that balance internally within you. But also there's something about that surrendering to divine and holding that faith. Don't forget, divine timing is here on the table, okay? And I think that that's also what's been needed for you to become even more faithful than ever. Okay, to align with the right ones around you. See what else you need to be aware of. Lighthouse, beautiful. Number 7, your inner guidance system, okay? That's the safe passage right now, okay? When it's been illuminated in a way where it's like shining. I'm just seeing like divine light shining everywhere. It's not clouded with judgments and the stories that your old mind is telling you from the past, the fear, the veils that are telling you these illusions. Yeah, yes, okay, that's been experienced. What have you learned from that? Who have you become from that? Every story has its purpose. Every soul has its journey and lessons for a reason. It's better to honor that than resist it, which isn't easy. You have to learn to be okay with that as well. The right direction, secure. And that doesn't mean being passive to it and thinking, oh, you're a martyr or a victim or something. No, it's actually reclaiming your power every step of the way. The stuff you're healing through from lifetimes ago. Truly. Stuff you're healing for generations. Gaining clarity and navigating obstacles, beautiful. You're going in the right direction. Another confirmation. You're on track, you're going in the right direction, okay? So someone here is really making that decision. You're just really wondering if it's just going to be a foolish decision to make, whether it's the right decision to make right now. But I think that's more to do with the confidence that you're lacking within you, the truth that you're seeing outside of you, okay? Diamond ring, number 25. Karmic cycles, Wheel of Fortune, okay? So this diamond ring, again, next level, proposal, engagement, agreement, promise, partnership, statement of intent, marriage, union. Again, that lover's union, okay? That's clearly on your mind and clearly the decision that you want to make. But this is what's currently in the way. And I say in the way because you need to clear it out. It's in your control to close these out now, to recognize this. There's also something here about some things out of your hands. Again, divine justice is coming through. Remember I mentioned, and that's surrendering to divine. Getting what you deserve, that kind of energy. So you don't need to take revenge into your own hands or whatever. You just need to focus on your own path. What are you clearing through? Your karmic energies. And if there's a reason that you so strongly feel that, that's something you need to clear within you as well. That's a sign. That's another karmic energy within you to clear through, okay? Not to pass it on, Okay, and when you carry stuff like that, it just perpetuates and circulates within every connection you have moving forwards. It's beneath the surface whether you realize it or not. Head and heart again coming through. Emotional wisdom, important for you. Oh, the sun. That's number 31. That's come out with the ring as well. So this is big. This is like big yes energies to that union. You know that as well deep down. It's just you're clearing through this right now. Yes, energy, power, climax, fulfilled, pride. Mindful of that pride, remember? That king and queen of wands on the table, okay? That ego can be often the thing that gets in the way. So it's about recognizing that. You've got success again, vigor, divine masculine, daytime, victory, happy, warmth. Maybe this is where you're away. There's sun, there's just warmth. That's nice. Maybe you haven't been away in a long time and you need to. It's just some kind of, just where you feel, I don't know, there's a different environment, different space, different air. You know, sometimes you can get so stuck in your one way of being, one way of existing, you don't even realize there's literally a whole world out there. Especially when you're feeding into, like, you know, everything you see, whether it's online, you think that you're connected to the world, but actually there's so much more to the world than what's being intentionally fed to you through the systems, you know. Having said that, Milky Way, that's about online connections. No way. Maybe this is someone you met online though as well, because it's come out with that card. But there's definitely something about expansion here taking place, being in the spotlight. I mean, king and queen of wands, you're going to be in the spotlight. Publicity, social media, connected, exposure, fame, expanding. So there's something about your expansion that's going to be taking place. And I think maybe that's another thing where you've got to check your ego, you know, how you're handling that, how's your nervous system, how are you allowing that to suddenly become your validation, you know, do you need that for validation? Or maybe you need to recognize the reason why you're doing things. Is it actually, again, because it's making your heart happy, you know, and your inner child sing with joy? Or is it because you're seeking others to say yes to you, to send you those likes, those, you know, emojis, or I'm seeing like fire emojis for some reason. You know, people respond to stories or whatever. Anyway, you know, DMs or whatever. Or is it actually because you're seeing that this is how you get to network, this is how you connect to, whether it's your soul family, whether it's the people you're here for, whether it's just like this expansion because your soul is soaring and this is what you want to do. You want to connect to the cosmos through that gateway. Yeah, not just like staying stuck in the egoic states, you know, healthy, anchored in. Again, nature is really important for whoever this is. Nature, connected to nature. So there's definitely, so you must already have some kind of platform online as well, as I'm getting, because these two have both come out. I think this is what's influenced this unpredictable energy in the past as well. You know, I'm looking at this King of Wands, only fools rush in. Maybe you've become wiser to that energy, okay? And I think with this Queen of Wands as well, maybe there's been some kind of lack or loss to do with the energy, but I think that's because, again, that's divine intervention. The cross, sorrow, loss, trials, there's a reason for it. It's been protecting you. I don't think you realized how it was going to draw you off your path versus actually how you needed to stay in your alignment and recognize that light that the Queen of Wands beautifully has. She's a leader, she's a trendsetter, she's confident, she's courageous, she's actually very spiritual and authentic. You know, her expression, she's not afraid of her expression. She was raw, lioness. But she needs to recognize that from an inwards gaze. Yeah, turning it inwards, not because everyone else was saying yes and clapping for her. Yeah, the claps, the cheers, that kind of thing is really coming through big for this. See, emotional release, overflowing abundance, beautiful waterfall, number 34. No longer chasing. You're releasing that energy. That need for whatever it is, a closure, the validation, whatever that keeps coming through. It's kind of like you're letting that go. There's fulfillment, there's release, there's tears of joy. And you know something, this is what's getting you close to that union, that big yes with that diamond ring, that lover's card there, this ring of keys, marriage union. I'm telling you. And that North Star. You're getting closer than you realize. Right about now, it just feels like there's a balancing act. And maybe this is something you felt before in this particular energy. You know, you've had this cycle before. And maybe it's time to recognize how you're doing better than you have before and how you're going to continue to do better and not fall back into old patterns and old ways. And when you do, check yourself. Literally keep a journal or a diary or something. Check yourself. Write it down in your notes, how you're feeling, whatever it is that makes sense for you. Express yourself. You know, it doesn't have to be to the whole world. I mean, maybe that's part of your platform, but more just like a personal thing as well. Head of the pack, my God. Number 15, successful. Success is coming out multiple times here. I just want to make that clear. So there's something big about that, and that's because you are following your path. You're not conforming. But again, you're learning how to balance that between ego and self-serving versus actually how can I collaborate with the right people? How can I work together? Something big about that, okay? You definitely I'm getting massive leader vibes here, whoever this is. This says alpha male, which is interesting. But I also am getting very much like, yes, head of the pack, but also this is why you're so solo, because you are the one who takes that lead. You are the one who makes the decisions and others usually follow. Whether they tell you or not, I mean, this Queen of Wands, it says stylish trendsetter, right? Which means people can often copy you. You don't even, without even like maybe crediting you or like even recognizing and acknowledging you. Do you know what I mean? But it's like literally that's the power you have. And that's often very divine feminine quality, by the way. You're just a natural born, like people were influenced by you. Your magnetic glow, and gosh, whether they realize it or not. So there's definitely big about this. Leading, that drive. So you've definitely got that drive within you. Right about now, that confidence. The only thing that you're lacking confidence to have drive within is going towards this union. Everything else, you're like, yeah, I got this. You know, you're going for it. Even if like you feel like, you know, you want to work harder, you've still got more success to have. But when it comes to this union, you're like, oh, wow. Persistence, will to win. That's another thing. How much pressure are you putting on the outcome? What have you seen? What are you expecting? You need to release expectations. This is where you surrender to divine and you connect to your heart space and you trust the divine unfold. Truly, you're being guided for a reason. Okay. Divine masculine is the one who, yes, will anchor this down into 3D. That's why they're the ones who take the lead. But divine feminine, you're the one who hold space energetically and emotionally for this to enter, you know. And it's not because you're attaching and waiting, expecting from that person. It's because you're holding that within you. You're holding that frequency, you're embodying it, you're releasing and letting go for you within you. You're clearing so much inside your system and aligning on a higher level. Your divine connection is just overflowing in itself, okay? It's motivation. They're really motivated to get forward, which is why I think maybe they're even asking themselves, why am I finding it so hard? But again, there's a lot of temptations around them as well. They need to be mindful, truly. Finishing first, dominate. Wow, okay, powerful. Let's get one more and see what you need to know. Yeah, race car. The pressure's on right now. And that's what I just said that about pressure. The pressure you're putting on 32. Get going, urgent, do it now, action, bold, speed, goal-oriented, breaking limits, live fast, taking risk, determination. You know, this is coming after this emotional release. Comes this emotional release of recognizing all of this is compass here, number 22. Your true north. You're finding your true direction right now. That's what's taking place right now. Maybe you are a truth seeker, okay? This is your direction. You're finding your way. Remember, you're on track. You're going in the right direction. You know where you're going. This is about making that plan. There's exploration. You're very curious, okay? Which is interesting. So I feel like there are two energies coming through here, I will say, but I think that your energies are so entwined. It's just wow. So I'm just going to get an animal card for the divine masculine. Animal card for the divine masculine. And this could be the energy within you. I want to make that clear as well. Okay, so I did feel like this could be the case. That's the swans. So twin flame, divine counterpart. Again, twin flame is a very specific journey. Not everyone's on there, okay? So it's really important to recognize that. And also with this reading, make sure you're watching all parts to ensure that it's for you, okay? Number 6, yeah, it could be even a soulmate, a really deep soul connection, okay? So blooming love, the one, deep soul connection. It says fluidity as well. We've got the hummingbird as well, that's beautiful. So that came out for divine masculine. That's really about divine masculine understanding this journey and anchoring it into their physical reality. They're learning how to do that. Okay, and this may be where they're lacking confidence as well, that lack of confidence that's coming through. They're lifting out negativity though. They're recognizing the lightness of being because they're releasing the 3D constraints, right? And they're really recognizing, and I think that has a lot to do with how they've been very self-focused, you know, truly. There's a big thing about that. It's about being present, enjoyment, sweet goodness. It says nectar as well, so maybe there's some like sweetener. I'm seeing like, you know, sweetener in food. I don't know. So let's get a card for the divine feminine here, the divine feminine energy. Like I say, energies within as well. This could be elephant, gentle, lucid dreams. Again, something about your dream state is really like powerful, okay? Yeah, powerful, wise, trust, keeping your wits about you, fair enough. Easily removing obstacles, telepathy, supportive. Let's get one for the connection. I think divine feminine needs to have trust. have more trust. And I think that more than anything, she is developing that. Okay, the connection, happy new beginnings, the bunnies. Number one, the rabbits, new beginning, desire, definitely desire, passion for sure, I mentioned. Timid. I think that, you know, it's interesting, the timid energy, I feel like, I honestly feel like the divine masculine, this is where they're lacking courage, like they're feeling a little bit timid, but actually, once they find their power, like nothing stops divine masculine. That's where that head of the pack, like finishing first, dominate. Sudden increase, ooh, clever, resourceful, fertility, multiply, sex and procreation. I think that together you're going to multiply a lot, especially with this Mercury coming out with a yes and the diamond ring. I think that you're going to be very, and the King and Queen of Wands, you're going to be very, your light is going to be so glowing and magnetic. If you work together, you could be very powerful. But the owl there, so right about now, there's something about seeing through the veils of illusion that I kept mentioning. Things are lifting, shadows are coming through because there's a lifting of what has been unknown for a long time. And like I said, there's that exploring, there's that energy of not everything is as it seems. Okay, not everything is as it seems. Important message. What do you need to release? Obviously, we've just gone through that. There's definitely release taking place. Okay. Powerful. This makes sense. So, with that twin flame card coming out as well. A time for healing, yeah. So that's what's happening right now. I think that you need to focus on your own healing, perfecting that balance internally within you, because divine justice is being played out, and it's just about how you're deciding how to close out these karmic cycles, which sometimes isn't so like easy to recognize, like logically. It's just happening inside you, and you're like, hold on, am I doing the right things? But this is why it's important to journal, or maybe just to keep some kind of note, because what you won't realize is that things have changed a lot. Being bold and making the first move, that's the courage that's being gained, okay? And this is luck is on your side, Sagittarius energy. Luck is on your side, okay? And then you've got have faith in your dreams, talking about that faith energy. One more, just get one more. Have faith. So it doesn't matter what the possibilities are. Someone might be telling themselves stories of, oh my God, what if it goes like this, what if it goes like that, it's so risky. You need to have faith in your dreams, but also your path forward. It's divine. It's your divine path, okay? Stepping out of your comfort zone, I did say that. There's going to be this need to step out of your comfort zone. Your North Node could be important as well, okay? Just going to quickly get some timings. If there's anything about timings you need to know, or just generally any of the guidance. Pluto, again, the Judgment card, second time that card's come out. Major transformation that's taking place right now. Rebirth, okay? Big changes to welcome in what you're going towards. Beautiful. Inner union is 100%. Element of fire, yeah, could we get any more fiery? Like, for sure. There's creativity, there's passion, there's impulsivity, but it says expect the unexpected. But again, honing in on that. This is where I think there's a lot of changes taking place. You're learning how to healthily channel that, right? So it's not just like immaturely wound-led impulsivity is what's coming through. It's actually your divine alignment. You're listening to your inner guidance more and your connection to divine, okay? The Hanged Man, yeah, Neptune, I think Neptune is in retrograde still, right? So maybe there's fantasy. So maybe there's somebody here, they're just in their mind. So that subconscious mind keeps coming through. They're already in their mind. Illusion, dreams, again, your dreams, important. Fantasy, yeah. Death card. Let's get a card. Get another card. Let's get a card for the divine masculine as well, just to confirm what the divine masculine needs to be aware of. Leo. Interesting, because that's the King of Wands. Leo. Oh, no way. So maybe that is your sign, or maybe it's, oh my God, the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Wow. Courage, again, confidence. Whoever this divine masculine is, they really need to, like, literally lock in on what they're here for. They are divine masculine. You're a divine masculine. Like, if this is you listening, you have courage within you, confidence, persuasion, wisdom, power. This is part of your purpose, not from your ego. Maybe that's where you're getting confused, because you have led from your ego before and you don't want to do that. So then ask yourself the right questions when that comes up again, so you can unravel yourself and look within and say, hold on, where am I out of balance within me? And that doesn't just vanish. You have to constantly work on that, even in connection. You check yourself, right? Divine Feminine. Whoa. There's just like a lot of cards. Divine Feminine. God, so many cards are coming for Divine Feminine. Oh, that's interesting. Yes and no. That's so interesting. You got the yes and no card. So there's definitely an ascension taking place, an up leveling. You've got abundance coming in because you're moving on, you're moving forwards. But I also feel like there's this energy of learning when to say no and learning how to trust the unfold, to detach. Okay, there's definitely, because don't forget, like that came through for a reason about divine masculine taking action. I think there's this need to allow them the space to do this now. Focus on your purpose right now. Really zone back in on you. What's really calling you? That's where you need to, your calling is where you need to focus right now. Okay. There's an imminent event coming up for you. It could be in autumn time, it feels like. It's going to have a huge shift for you. You're going to need some time to center through that. Okay. Card for your connection. Card for your connection. Oh, that's interesting. Again, Sagittarius energies come through. That's a huge, really big for this energy. Okay. Autumn time again. This says within 14 to 30 days. There's some kind of progress that could be taking place within the next month. Well, yeah, it says 14 to 30 days. So moving into like October energies is what I'm getting. We'll get another one. There's definitely a total transformation. Okay. Oh my God, yeah, time to get going. Births, beginnings, and that's like the bunnies as well. So definitely on the horizon. I think this must be like super like this cycle that you're about to close is very powerful. So stay on track. Do not get distracted, do not get detoured, do not get sidetracked, right? Even with this, don't even focus on the connection in that sense. Focus on what you're closing out right now. Have faith the connection is there, the union is there. You know, this is yours, but understand that actually first comes your connection to divine, because you need to have faith in that. That's how you have faith in yourself as well. Okay. And whatever's taking place, the moon once again, the moon, Pisces energy. There could be blocked intuition right now because of that fear and anxiety that's getting in the way. Maybe even the deception of the past, the betrayals that we've gone over, okay, that have come through for this reading. Remember to watch all parts, okay, to ensure it's for you. So be mindful of that. You don't need to stay in that licking your wounds energy. You need to move on. You know, as in, and that's what the moving on energy is. And that was the divine feminine. So it's time to, again, she's leading in the energy field. So yeah, it's time to release what versions of the past were and recognize, you know what, that happened for the reason that I need to, and look who I've become as a result of this. Now I'm ready to receive what is actually mine. I'm ready to go forward with so much faith, knowing that whatever this divine unfold is, I have it within me to handle what I'm here to handle, because it's already written. It's just up to me now. And also this like learning how to work together is so important. Collaboration. So maybe there's something about that, you know, holding space, not just about me. It's beautiful. This is really sticking out. So maybe keys are important for some reason. I think maybe you'll be moving, not yet, absolutely not, but you know, maybe you live together, maybe you will be, something like that. New beginnings again, it says. So that's really powerful. So your inner guidance system is leading the way right now. Be mindful that your subconscious is not taking over, subconscious fears and anxieties, okay? This is where you get to close that out now. Really ask yourself the right questions. I'm just going to get, being called to just get one more card for the divine masculine. So they must be needing some kind of, again, autumn time is really important. This is where the Scorpio energy as well, this is where they're really unsticking themselves. This is where they're going to have forward movement. From now, as the year is closing out, they're really going to build their courage. They're really stepping into that divine masculine, which, like I said, the emperor didn't come out on the table, right? But this is what they're working on, so they're gonna get there, okay? Yeah, to focus on that. I think there's something about them connecting to their inner divine feminine as well, which is important for them, okay, as they heal through. So I'm getting earth and fire as well here now, so there's something about being dependable and grounded that's really important here. You are the anchor, okay? Sending so much love. You got this.